Hey, baseball fans. Welcome back to another episode of Backfield's Retro. I am your host, Brenden, the commissioner of the PPL and general manager of the St. Louis Browns. Joining me to my right, the screen's left, is Tim Lowry, the creator of Backfield's Media, its subsidiary, Backfield's Retro, and our Detroit Tigers GM. Tim, how are you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a little weird. You're wearing the exact same thing you were wearing in our previous recording.
I know.
And come to think of it, I am too. But these are
recorded on the same day or something.
No, these are two separate days recording. These are two separate days of recording. This is being recorded the next day from some other previous recording that's already come out.
Yeah. It's the magic of television.
The magic of television. I love it. Well, I won't dilly-dally too much. We have gone all the way around our American League, covering each team, at least where we think the team is headed and what we think they're going to do in our 1950 season, which is just 3 days away at the time this video will be, or 2 days away at the time this video will be coming out. 3 days from when we're recording now, because it's Tuesday when we're recording. We've done the American League. Now it's time for the National League, the senior circuit. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to have 3 minutes on the clock. We are going to each take turns talking about a team that we've already predetermined. We're going to take 3 minutes for each team. The person who leads off the conversation will give their spiel. The other person will have a chance to kind of respond and add to it. We'll go through all 8 teams, and at the end of it, we will do a brief standings prediction. Tim, are you ready?
I am. Let's go.
All right. Well, I tell you what, last time I got you started by telling you which team to start with. Let's go ahead and invert it, and you hit me first.
All right. Well, let's start with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
All right. The Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Pirates are a legacy organization that has kind of fallen on hard times this recently. They're on their third GM of the PPL era, with their first GM, Mike, leaving to take over the Brooklyn Dodgers. Second GM, their fourth GM, their second GM, second trip around, and Cody. So a lot of turnover in the front office, I think, has led to some bad baseball, but it's not all doom and gloom. Garrett Schaff is a fantastic power hitter, hit 24 home runs last year. Chris Robtoy only hit 9 home runs in 92 games, but he was awesome. 342, 457, 538 slash line. Dominic Strickland is a pretty good outfielder, consistent hitter. Jimmy Pittman, nice hitter. Tom Jantz hit 24 home runs as well, 28 2 years ago. So they've got some bats I feel real good about. The thing I don't feel real good about is the pitching staff. I mean, there's really nobody out there who I would hang my hat on. I mean, Jose Garcia could be a decent prospect, but he's not all the way developed yet. Mark Hackwell's old. Mike Schwartz is kind of average. Colin Stout. I just don't see this team being much better than the 6th place finish that they had last year, unfortunately.
Yeah, kind of the same. While they hit well, the pitching they were just kind of adrift. And even the thing like Daniel Nelson probably had the best looking stats, only a 3.83 ERA. Daniel's also 36 years old, 37 this year. So, not much left. Flashes of brilliance every once in a while. Someone would show up and pitch a good game. But this is a team that really needs a good overhaul. And, with the relative age of all of these guys, the hitters are young.
Mm-hmm.
But, the pitching is really holding them back. Seems kind of familiar.
Something worth mentioning with that roster that's kind of old and needs an overhaul, because the roster is so old. This team actually has the biggest payroll in all of the PPL, and It's not even particularly close. They actually have a 130-something thousand lead over the St. Louis Cardinals for highest payroll. They got a high budget. $2.5 million. So there's money to work with to, especially to splurge on amateur free agents when we get there. But I got to think the plan for Cody in coming years is going to be to kind of clear house, bring in younger players, and kind of reset the overall direction of the franchise.
Makes sense.
Good timing. That is our timer for our 3 minutes. Why don't you go ahead, Tim, and get us going with the Boston Braves?
All right. The Boston Braves were in last year.
Their second straight last place finish.
Yeah. Their run differential was like 240 runs. There wasn't much good to talk about. Dave O'Malley had a nice slash line, but not really a lot of power. Players that did have power really didn't hit for much average. The pitching staff, they tried, but it just didn't kind of work out all that well. I do like Jeff Mitchell. Not so much for the results, but the fact that he's 21 years old and was able to kind of make notice. I noticed him like towards the end of the season. Was very, very good. Can say that he would hold his own. Defensively, pick a spot. They were all negative in zone rating. Did have one good catcher, John Hoffman. Sorry, was their only above average zone rating. This is a team that is really going to need a lot of work.
Who they then let walk into free agency as they did not extend his contract. This team clearly signaled, I think, its intent to start over from scratch with the Claypool trade.
Yes.
Lou Perini bought this team recently. It's clear that he trusts the GM that he's got there. A little in universe explanation. He's willing to spend money too if the team can start getting better. And I think the overall direction of the franchise is good. They're one of the best farm systems in this league. As a matter of fact, if you go take a look at the top 100 prospect rankings, they have 12 guys in the top 100, only surpassed by the New York Giants.
Wow.
I believe that's correct, including the number 1 overall prospect, shortstop Bobby Heiler. So this team really does have a bright future ahead of itself. I just don't think it's this season in 1950.
Yeah. Also, another Tony Perez sighting.
Yes, and I don't think I caught it when we were doing the Washington Senators, but there's another John Johnson out there too.
Yes. Fortunately, I know how not to mix them up.
Man, I just I'm thinking that maybe the census takers back then didn't get to, or the parents weren't getting very creative with their names. They only had a short list off the census that they could name from.
Well, they had to hurry up and get back to the factory.
It's good. That's a good explanation.
I'm sticking with that. All right. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Phillies.
Philadelphia Phillies. I like the Phillies. I like the Phillies offense. Let me rephrase that. In terms of complete hitters, I think Chris Campbell's probably the best. I mean, maybe he's not going to hit for quite the average that Juan Eduardo is, but his eye discipline is the greatest this game may have ever seen. And while the power numbers probably don't reflect what his power capability really is, part of that's the park. He is a premier hitter in this league. He's been an all-star every year since coming back from his military service. He did win an MVP that first year back as well. Chris Campbell, at 26 years old, about to be 27, is the clear leader of this team. But it's not just him. It's Ray Cuthbertson, who finally came into his own, winning a batting title last year at age 25. It's shortstop Dave Kaplan, who's got fantastic power. He's hit 46 home runs over the last 2 years. They got a couple other good bats. Chris Azoles was a nice center fielder. Joe Richmond was, fine out and right. Shane Delk is a decent hitter as well. There's some good hitters on this team.
Absolutely.
That leads into the problem. There's no pitching.
No.
I mean,
No.
what do you hang your hat on in that rotation?
The one who is the most interesting to me, I mean, Mike Sherman had the best numbers per se, but gave up a lot of contact, did not help himself with all the walks.
No.
His 3.77 ERA with all the runners on base that he had is like, I don't even know how that's possible. So I see some regression there. On the flip side, Jeremy Betterton had pedestrian at best stats, but his FIP kind of made me think that, he just wasn't getting the help he needed. Neither one of those is enough to kind of raise the level. But there's several teams in this league that can hit all day and are going to give it all back up when they take the field. So
they're certainly banking on former Giants reliever and former White Sox and Braves starter Chris Holland kind of filling at least some of that deficit in the rotation. But I mean, ultimately this rotation is only going to get better through development of young players. All right, Tim, why don't you go ahead and get us into our next team? And we're going to do a little unusual from what we did last time. Let's go to the Giants, the defending World Series champions.
I love this team. And someone who has always tracked teams like throughout baseball history and like their peak moments, the Giants are in one. They are at historic levels with what they're able to do. They scored the most runs in the PPL. They allowed the fewest runs in the PPL. So, not surprising. They're not only first place, they won the World Series, and then had Bob Rastelli kind of seemingly pop up out of nowhere to be one of their best players. Sam Shalachi. Probably one of the better young players in baseball right now. It's just the rich getting richer. They have one of the best farm systems. Their pitching is incredible. The only concern I have is that Dave Boyle is 42. Not many more years left of that, but
even at that point in time, 21-year-old Harry Baker looks like he's ready to have his breakout season this upcoming year. I mean,
yeah, this is, and I don't see this team taking much of a dip anytime soon.
We mentioned that the Braves have number 1 prospect Bobby Hyler. Number 2, 3, and 4 by the OSA rankings are all Giants, including 2 right-handed pitchers, 2 and 3, and then center fielder Jonathan Mendez at 4.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm hearing the groan from the rest of the National League.
Yeah, the Giants, by the way, have 18 top 100 prospects, again, from OSA. You said it right. This is a team that's in like the absolute height of their powers. They're only the second ever National League team to win back-to-back World Series. The first, by the way, was also the Giants. It's going to be the story of the season in the National League this year will be seeing if there is anybody who can knock them off that perch, if there really is a legitimate contender. Because as we stand right now, it's a long season ahead of us, but as we stand right now, it looks like they'll just cruise to another pennant in World Series.
This is the type of team that has the depth all over. Like they could, and I don't wish injuries on anybody, but they could sustain several injuries and not miss a beat.
And Boyle, by the way, at 43 years old, 70-75 or 75-75 control. He's showing no signs whatsoever of even remotely slowing down. It is incredible what he's been able to accomplish in this league. Currently sitting at 362 career wins.
Indeed. All right. So let's go and talk about everybody's favorite team.
Everybody's favorite team?
Well, at least mine. The Cincinnati Reds.
Well, I'll tell you what about the Reds. There's not a whole lot I think we can tell you that you might not all already know, but I'm going to try. So a short list of teams that are going to try to make a real run at knocking the Giants off that perch is a short one, and the Reds are on that list. No team has been more aggressive in elevating their team's status than the Cincinnati Reds. Let's start with Matt Moses. Matt Moses is probably the most talented pitcher in the National League, not named Ethan Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude is fantastic. He won the Cy Young not last year, the year before. Fortunately, his win-loss record doesn't necessarily reflect his skill due to the team letting him down in a few situations. You back him up with Tim Hernandez, who's a very good number 2. By the way, the last 2 pitchers to throw no-hitters in league history. Warren Walters, a more than capable third. There's a couple other guys I like there. Lucier, trading for Lisney from the Senators. Excellent. This gives this team one of the better rotations in the National League. Go to offense. The best young player in the league is Kyle Claypool. That massive trade to bring him in may have sacrificed a lot of your farm depth, but that's okay. When you're getting a superstar at the kind of level of a guy who could hit 400, it's worth it. Combine that with breakout power performance from Jason Gilmer. Carl Williams is back in the fold. When O'Keefe and Smith come back, their shortstop and center fielder respectively, joining Ray McDonald, I see this team as one that can get up to 90 wins.
Mm-hmm. O'Keefe was one of my favorites last year. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I wonder, this is the biggest what-if team to me in the PPL. The pitching injuries they sustained, the tuberculosis that was rampant on that team, O'Keefe's concussion, and then later post-concussion syndrome that he has struggled with. And I think O'Keefe was going to be one of those generational. I mean, he was that team's Brian Yarov, talent-wise.
Absolutely.
I can't help but root for this team. They're a lot of fun. Their general manager, I just wish he would be more expressive. Andre, I hope you're watching this, buddy.
He will be. I know he will be.
Yeah. I love how everything, he just takes on the challenge. He's hired some of these coaches. He's turned these guys into coaches. So it's amazing. Great team.
I forgot to mention that before. We each have one timeout we can use. I'm going to go ahead and apply one of those timeouts now because I feel like we deserve a little bit more time to talk about this. We mentioned the tuberculosis, the injury to Jeremy De La House. The second punch in that rotation. He's back as the bench coach now.
I love that.
Me too.
And is outstanding at what he does. I just think it's great.
It's complete art. As far as I understand how it works, when you convert a player who's retired to a coach, because you can go in and manually did that. I did manually do that for De La House because I thought it'd be fun to have him back, and he was pestering me. As far as I understand how it works, it's completely random what kind of coach they become. And he ended up generating as a outstanding coach, a future manager in this league.
Yeah. I like the fact that his catching defense is legendary. He finally gets to tell the catchers what to do.
I mean, he would know.
Yeah.
He's like, do this for your pitcher. Something to note is they are on their third manager in 3 years. Hernandez, I can't remember his first name, their manager last year, did retire at the end of the season. So they have promoted their last year first base coach and former Boston Red Sox manager, by the way, 2-time World Series winning, 3-time American League pennant winning World Series or American League pennant manager, Jim Gorgon as the manager now. Gorgon is a fantastic ad as manager. That is like, and that's kind of like a sneaky underrated thing that I wish we'd gotten in during the full time. Is why I wanted to have that time out to talk about this staff. Having a former World Series winning manager, having a back-to-back World Series winning manager on with this team, with the ratings that he's got, a lot of experience. You know what? Cincinnati is a real hot and cold team historically, mostly cold. But when they get hot, they get hotter than just about anybody else. They still own the wins record. And I almost wonder if in a couple of years this team develops the way I hope it would and they challenge that, because that would be awesome to see.
Yeah, that would be. That would be.
All right. We'll go ahead and get time. We'll go ahead and time back in.
All right.
Tim talking about one of the other teams that we maybe expect to challenge for that National League pennant, St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes. St. Louis Cardinals were in third last year. Matt Hoyt, one of my favorite players, led the team with extra base hits, OPS, 30 homers, which is extremely rare around this time in baseball. 80 power. JJ Ulrich at second, who walked 124 times. The defense, Ryan Twyman was really good at shortstop. He's pretty much the only defensive player that was really good. I thought that was holding them back a bit. I like this pitching staff. They were very durable. All four starters went well over 200 innings and were effective. There's a lot to like about this team. It was the type of thing when I looked at the numbers all together, like, how did they finish third?
Yeah.
And I saw the two teams in front of them and said, oh, okay, that makes sense. So, but yeah, this is a team on the rise, I think.
They're coming off their second straight now, third place finish after winning 3 straight pennants in the National League. You said it right about Hoyt. Hoyt is, again, there are very few elite power hitters in baseball in this age. Hoyt is one of them. Hoyt has had over 30 home runs each of the last 4 seasons since coming back from his military service. Fantastic. JJ Ulrich's really good. Jerry Garza's really good.
Lance Sullivan, 40
yeah.
doubles.
And Chad Harrell, by the way, won 53 games in 2 years between 47 and 48 before dropping off to just 21.
Just 21 slacking.
Yeah. I do kind of get the feeling that this is a team that's less about what kind of sustained success can we have, and more about, is this, like, when is that last ride, like that last ride going to happen? Because this team is looking at a big time rebuild once these guys leave.
Yeah.
And this is an old roster. Like, almost every major contributor that we've listed is over 30 years old. Almost.
Yeah. I worry about their bullpen. Joe Postma will be in 37.
Mm-hmm.
Bullpens play a little differently in this era, but yeah, it's kind of like it's now or never is what it feels like.
Yeah,
for this team.
Well, maybe it will be now. I mean, I kind of would like to see them get that second World Series win that they're overdue for.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, the St. Louis Cardinals are currently. Oh no, they're not. They're in a 3-way tie. I was gonna say they are the losingest. They're in a 3-way tie for losingest team in the World Series with the. Not losingest, for second losingest. I'm sorry. Second losingest is a 3-way tie between the Giants, Cubs, and Cardinals. Losingest team is the Pittsburgh Pirates. They've lost 6.
Ah, okay.
Cardinals have lost 5.
It's fun to be there.
It's fun to be there. Yeah, the National League loses a lot more World Series than the American League, apparently, historically. All right. Well,
let's talk about Brooklyn.
No. You actually got Brooklyn.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So let's talk about the Cubs.
Yeah, them Cubbies. So, mentioning teams that earlier we talked about teams that have been real hot and cold historically. The Cubs spent the first half of the PPL existence being blue blood. They've spent the last 20 or so years in the toilet. They've only had after their last winning season, like 31 or 32, they did not have another winning season until last year, when Tom, in his second year as GM, took a team that I really didn't think would be that good and suddenly morphed them into a legitimate pennant contending team. They finished second in the National League last year, and that was largely behind a bunch of young bats like Jeff Vining, Josh Scales. Mark Hamilton made his debut as the season went on. Shortstop Jay Sells, third baseman Kevin Sawyer. Like, there's just a lot of names on this team that I feel like we're going to be hearing a lot. But first and foremost is this rotation. Takuya Inoue, a Japanese pitcher, was selected out of the Rule 5 draft from the Cardinals. I did not think he would be able to cut it as a starter, and in a lot of ways he didn't. His stamina is not great, but he made 30 starts. He looked real good while doing it. His win-loss record was only 9-11, but he looked real good while doing it. Yeah. Kevin Webb has got the tools. He's 28. He's consistent. He kind of had a breakout season last year, going 18-14. Gabe Franco is 26 years old. He's a solid option. David Jones is a young potential ace in the future. He went 12-3 last year at 17 starts. But the man who leads this team is the best pitcher in PPL by skill, by talent. 21-year-old Ethan Smith. Ethan Smith came out of nowhere to secure his first ever All-Star appearance last year in his second full season. His first full season, by the way, was as a 19-year-old. This was as a 20-year-old. 16-15. Only a 3.67 ERA, but dude, when you look at his stat sheet, it's all blue numbers everywhere.
Yeah, and the scouts love. I mean, he's one of the few that does not have a weakness in the core skill sets. He is plus with his movement, the control. He throws heat. Walks were kind of high, but that's also kind of it's kind of the era.
Yeah. And really only 8.4%.
Yeah, exactly. You know, with all the, are we back?
We are back.
Okay. With all of the innings he threw, and they didn't seem to be, I mean, he didn't seem to labor a lot. There wasn't a lot of abuse that he took on that arm. So he was very effective.
And I think that was deliberate, the team wanting him to kind of physically develop before they launch a 300-plus inning workload on him.
Yeah.
As mentioned, this year he'll only be 21.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's going to be a problem for the next 20 years.
Well, as my thing timed out, the timer did go off. So we will carry on now to our final team to cover the National League, Tim with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Dem bums.
Yeah. Losing your best player, who's possibly one of the best players in baseball, has really got to hurt. There is a lot of rumor and discussion, as we posted in the retros page. There are cities out here who want baseball teams, and I'm curious to see how the rebuild is going to go in Brooklyn and whether or not they ultimately stay there. That said, Antonio De La Torre is probably the best player on this team right now. A middle-of-the-order catalyst. Pitchers do not want to throw to him. He had 104 walks last year. Adam Pollack, Bill Payton, also pretty good. The pitching staff, Jeff Stellhorn.
Big country.
Yeah, he
6'8".
was not consistent enough for that true ace, but some of that's, who's behind him too. This is a contact first kind of league. I'm curious to see where the rebuild goes. Pick a spot and it's due for some upgrade.
Yeah.
So be curious to see how that plays out.
While they're crosstown rivals, the Giants have 18 prospects listed in the OSA top 100. The Dodgers have 17 listed in the top 500. See, I think, and that's post making a trade, dealing away Reinhardt, which, by the way, they got back Travis Martin, who looks like he could be a absolute stud.
Yeah.
Realistically, this team is a long ways away from contending again. That's why they made the Reinhardt trade. Now, they've got the financial resources to really go after it. I mean, this team should be at the front of the line signing amateurs. And Walter O'Malley is not going to stand for a losing organization very long.
No.
So I think they'll get back up to being respectable, but in order to build a core that's going to actually contend for World Series again, because this team finished second, not last year, the year before, in 1948, this team was 3 games out of the World Series.
Wow.
From 3 games out of the World Series to 7th place. That's got to hurt.
Yeah.
And they also attendance crumbled last year. Last year they finished, got the numbers here. Although I probably should have that shit on hand if I want to reference it. Last year finished 6th in attendance in the National League.
Wow.
For a New York baseball team.
Yeah. For a team that always would be one of the top. Man.
Dem bums. And you mentioned it. There are teams that are going to look to leave their cities, and I gotta say, I mean, the Dodgers are not positioning themselves well to have a good shot to stay in New York. But things can change. We'll see what see what Mike's able to do. Mike has done magic before.
He's rebuilt dumpster fires before, so he's got a job on his hands.
Well, this concludes our trip around the league. Why don't you go ahead and pull up those standing predictions, and we're going to go ahead and list out what we think things are going to finish at. So you see here we have our American League predictions, our table that we expect things to finish at. Last time, Tim went first, going bottom up. I'm going to go first, again, going bottom up. And I am sorry to the bums, but I do not think the Braves finish in last another consecutive year. The bums are going to go ahead and finish in last, with the Braves following them in 7th. Pirates are going to have their second straight 6th place finish. Much like the American League, I view this as a bottom 3, and the first division is really 5 teams.
Yeah.
So working our way up. Cardinals finish in 5th. They drop out of the first division. And that's not really an indictment on the Cardinals. It's more like I really do believe in what some of the other teams in this league have been able to do.
Makes sense.
As much as I would like to put the Phillies higher, I think their lack of pitching is going to hold them back, but I think they're going to score. I think the Reds continue to climb, but I don't think that climb is going to get any higher than 3rd this year. I think the Giants are going to lose out on the pennant to the Cubs.
Wow.
I think the Cubs are a good young team, and while I do really like the Giants, and I didn't really want to touch on it too much during the bit, I think their pitching is fantastic, but their pitch, it's a good lineup. It's not an exceptional lineup, and while I think the lineup is better than the lineup that the Cubs are going to field, I don't think the gap is quite wide enough to where magic can't happen.
Okay.
And now it's fair. We are coming off of a 3-peat for pennant winnings. I mean, the Cardinals just won 3 straight pennants, but I don't think it's safe to bet on a team winning 3 straight pennants. So let's bet something else.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, the bottom 3, I agree with you.
In order?
Yes. Brooklyn, Boston, and Pittsburgh. I think the Phillies. I think the pitching is going to hold them back. Then the Cardinals. I do like what the Reds are doing in third. Until they are beaten, I am going to pick the Giants. I just feel like
that's totally fair.
I like it. And I mean, and let's face it, we've seen Tom do this again and again and again.
And this is
probably
partially
the
just
most significant GM in our league to me.
Yes. I'm not afraid of saying that this is a good chunk of this faith in a GM.
So I'm going to ask this question to kind of sum up how I feel about this. If there was a tie at the top, is it a 1-game playoff? Is it a 3-game playoff? What's the
three?
Nice.
With 3 games with, and I got to refresh my memory on how they're sorted. So a 3-game series has never gone 2-3, I don't believe. No, I'm sorry, it has. It's actually gone. The last 2 tiebreaker series were in 1933 and 1934, 33 in the American League, 34 in the National League.
Okay.
Tiebreaker between who gets home field advantage is head-to-head record. If head-to-head record is split, then it's record against highest ranked common opponent.
Okay.
On down, as long as they're still split. With correct. With the team that has home field, getting games 2 and 3.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that would be, if we did get a tie, we would see a 3-game tiebreaker series.
Excellent. So who do you like for the World Series?
Ooh,
I mean, to win the World Series, I know who you want to see there, but
I tell you what, I think in either case, Yankees win.
Okay.
And
I kind of feel the same.
And that's, again, it's a lot of that. It's a statement about the kind of offense that team is built. I mean,
yeah,
it's absolutely stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if last year's Yankees team had Reinhardt, I think that would have been.
Oh, that's a difference maker.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of a sudden, we're not talking about the Giants repeat. We're talking about the Yankees being the class of the league.
Right. It all ends in New York.
It all ends in New York. All right. Well, Tim, I'm going to go ahead and just pull us back up here.
All right.
Well, this has been, once again, another fantastic season preview here. You and I think, have got this format down.
Yes. Can we start the season now? I know you want to wait till Friday.
I'd like to start the season right now. I'd like to sim the whole season. Let's just do it in one go. I want to see what happens. No, I'm really excited to get our 3rd season going. I said it in our previous episode. I hoped, but I really didn't know if this thing would make it more than a season. I didn't know if the interest would be there. I didn't know if it would be as fun as it's been. This league has been so much fun through 2 seasons. It's been a kind of a slow off season. It's kind of dragged on a little bit, but I think that just builds anticipation. It's a rest period. We take time off. Let's hit it hard for 6
Gives me a chance to write stuff. What are you talking about?
There you go. You've done a lot of good work back there too. I love.
Thank you.
If none of you, for whatever reason, haven't checked out the fantastic articles he's been putting out in the Backfield Retro channel, y'all need to do that, because what are you doing? I mean, if you're not.
And feel free to hit me up with ideas.
Oh.
Brenden has given me a ton of them for some other content. So looking forward to doing that.
Keep your eyes peeled on that channel, guys.
Yep.
All right. Well, from me, the commish, from Tim Lowry, from Backfields Media, we are sponsored by Free State Beer, the official beer of people who hate slavery everywhere. This has been Backfields Media on the PPL. Y'all have a nice night.
Good night.